Paper Mario, one of the many types of Mario spin-off games. And today we're going to cover the second game in the series, The Thousand Year Door. The game released in 2004 and ended up selling more than the previous game. But just like the last one, there is a load of scrapped content. So today we're going to take a look at these removed features, since some of them are pretty odd. Let's start with some early versions of certain characters, since some were completely different in the beginning. First up, the hero of the game, Mario. There are some early graphics of him that appear in the files. The earlier graphics have a thinner outline, much softer colors, and a black mustache. By the looks of it, they based it on the first game's model, but apparently they wanted it to be better, since the early version is clearly less visually impressive than the final version. It also seems to have a very low resolution, so it was a good choice to rework it. Now for another character that was different from his final version, Admiral Bobbery, and he had a huge overhaul, since he started out with a completely different design. In his early version, he was a soldier, which is very different from his captain look. It's unknown why they made this change, since they both look great, so that's not the reason at least. Maybe they went with a captain because of the story and the town he is found in. Since in the game, you meet him in a port town and you sail with him to all kinds of places, so that could be a reason to change him. There was also an early version of the Koopa Troopa, which is extremely ugly compared to the final one used in the game, so that was certainly a huge improvement. Just look at it!
Now for some unused characters and enemies, since there are quite a lot of them. The Green Cheep Cheep. This is an unused Green Cheep Cheep. Given the tie, this was either an early version of the Blimp Conductor or an entirely different, unused character. So a lot of options here, and we're not really sure what the case is. The Spinia Partner. This is an unused partner for Luigi, and there are two designs for this partner, a hamburger and an ice cream cone. The file for this partner was last modified in April 21st, 2004. The other partners were finished on May 17th, meaning this was abandoned about a month before that. So apparently they didn't feel like finishing these ones, maybe because they were running out of time or it wasn't fitting. We don't really know, but it certainly is a shame since they do look cool. Now another weird thing is that all partners from the previous Paper Mario game are in the files of this game, but not all of them are used. Characters like Goombario, Cooper, Bombette, What, Sushi, and Lucky Lester. All of them are in the disc, though only Paracari and Bo appear in the game. They all have functional standing and talking animations, and What has an extra for her sparks, which is even more weird. This is a clear sign that they were planning to do something with these characters, but we don't really know. Maybe they wanted to recycle them to save time and add to the game. It would also be a fun reference for people who played the previous game. A bit of a shame they went unused.
Now for the enemies. First up, the Hyper Bob-omb. It has the following description. That's a Hyper Bob-omb. Attack it and it'll lose its temper, and once you hit it, it'll get angry and explode. So watch out. Its max HP is 5, attack is 1, and defense is 0. Attack it with something hard like a hammer or shell, and you should be fine. By the looks of it, this enemy only has a sprite, which is the thing you're looking at now, but no animations or anything else. So it was most likely scrapped early in development. Next, the Ultra Bob-omb. It has the same description as the previous enemy, but its design and stats are different. Its max HP is 7, attack is 1, and defense is 0. And just like the previous one, it only has a sprite. The next enemies only have a name and sprite, but no description at all. I'm talking about the Red Buzzy Beetle, Red Parabuzzy, and Red Spiked Parabuzzy. These seem to be a certain species of enemy that never made it into the game and were scrapped in an extremely early stage of development. The reason why is unknown, and it's also a bit weird, since their sprites look really good actually. Next, Dark Atomic Boo. The only thing ever completed of this boss was its texture and animation file. It doesn't have an assigned name or any code present on the disc. They may have been a mini-boss since an Atomic Boo was one, and since it may have been stronger because of it being a Dark Boo and an Atomic Boo. It was going to appear in the Pit of 100 Trials on the 50th floor. It also may have been able to talk, because it had a confused pose, or that might have been its pose when it attacked. However, it's possible that they didn't use it because the Atomic Boo was easy to defeat. This could also be the case with this enemy. It's a bit of a mystery.
Now for our last enemy, the Okoru. Alright, this is a bit of an odd case. While he does have a texture file, the only texture file present is this reference image. He has not been broken up into parts like the other enemies, so he can't possibly function as one. This was one of the first images to be entered into the game, and it hasn't been modified since it was first put in. Okoru means to get angry. It looks quite calm how it is now. The battle probably changed when the meter on its head got to red. This enemy was planned from the beginning most likely, since its entry was so early in the game's development. But for some reason, they didn't use him at all. Maybe they saved him for a fitting moment, but that moment never came. And so they forgot about him. So as you can see, there were quite a lot of things changed in this game. Some good, others maybe not so good. But it still turned out to be a great game, and possibly the best Paper Mario game in the series. Thank you for watching this week's episode. If you want more, you could click that fancy looking video in the middle, or subscribe by clicking the subscribe button and then activating notifications. Has following creators' content ever been that easy? Yes, it was easier before.